I intend to open the floor for some questions, clarifications. Honorable Ampim Nyako, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have heard the governor, and we are happy that he's been able to provide this information. I just want to find out why the contract was awarded in dollars and not in cedis. And then secondly, you said you acquired the land. Is the cost of the land part of the cost of construction that you've given us, or is that separate? And if it is separate, have you paid fully for the cost of the land? Thank you.
Several questions, and Alexander, okay, well, honorable member, you have the floor.
Yes. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I have a couple of questions for the governor. The first, I will reference him to paragraph 18 of the document he shared, which is talking about the cost per square meter of the building. According to the report, he's saying that the cost per square meter of this head office building is $2,068, which compares with international standard of $2,658. And so, from his own statement in paragraph 18, the value per square meter of the building is way below what it is compared to international standards. If the governor is aware, if you check with EcoBank Ghana, all the buildings that have been built here in this country in comparative terms, the cost per square meter is still even lower in the case of the Bank of Ghana than even the EcoBank building. And so this assertion, even with all the security complexities of the building that we see today, the issue of value for money that you're talking about, I think it is adequately addressed over here. The second question I want to refer him to. The second question I'm giving to you is that in terms of the approvals, the procurement approvals, is the governor telling this House that all the Bank of Ghana, did Bank of Ghana sidestep any approval process for this particular transaction? Because I know. Okay. So can the governor tell us if the Bank of Ghana got the necessary approvals for this particular transaction? Okay. My final question to the governor is whether the governor, as we speak now, is in occupation of this particular building. Thank you.
Honorable Hotoja.
It's not coming. My decision is no way. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can the Bank of Ghana governor brief this House as to what the cost or what actually accounted for the repeated increase in the contract sum?
Honorable Yaframpong.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is just
one question that I want to find out. In his introduction, the governor did mention value for money audit. I just want to find out if that exercise was really carried out. The value for money audit, if it was carried out. It was finally carried out before the construction. Yes, the back of it. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Fondi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Two quick questions. I am aware that before a project like this would be costed, all the architectural drawings, all the consultancies and everything would have been done before an institution like Bank of Ghana will put up a cost. Unfortunately, from $81 million, we are hitting revived to about $260 million. The Bank of Ghana governor did not explain to us what exactly changed in the cost of the changing of the price. Can we know that? And number two, the Bank of Ghana should be able to educate us also the selection of the consultant that would have to pay over $3 million for this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll take one more from here and give the opportunity to the governor. Kennedy Osenyako.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the governor if there is a value for money audit report. If there is not, will he consider engaging Crown agent to conduct a value for money report and furnish the house so that we'll be able to know the exact cost or what accounted for the cost of the project? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Governor, you have the floor. You can provide answers to all questions so far asked.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would defer to my colleagues, the members of the project team, to provide initial answers, and then I'll come in. But I'll just touch on the one question before I defer to them. This was a question on occupation of the building. Yes, my predecessor moved into his office before he left office. Why? Because this was allowed under the contract. Remember, the project is about 98% complete. It's almost done. And so my predecessor moved in, and therefore when I took over, I had no choice but also move into it whilst we continue all the other processes. Mr. Speaker, permit me to now defer to my colleagues, and then we will take the questions one by one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, why dollars? The contract was a turnkey project, and then we wanted to lock in the value in terms of payment and evaluation, and also to prevent change of contract values if it was cedis. Cost of land. Cost of land is not part of the figures we have provided here. It was compulsorily acquired by Ghana government and then given to Bank of Ghana. Cost per square meter. Yes, if you use the 261, the total contract values per the various contracts that have been signed under the project, the cost per square meter now come to 2,446, still lower than the West African construction estimate and also internationally accepted estimate. Procurement approvals. Mr. Speaker, procurement approvals were sought for all the processes. The first one was the PPA approval to use the restricted tendering for the selected contractors who were perceived to be suitable to build such an edifice. The PPA gave an estimate at that time when they gave the approval of $81.8 million. Mr. Speaker, after the evaluation and then selection of the contractor, the lowest responsive value for the contract with BOG Properties Limited was $121.0 million. So the Bank of Ghana went back to PPA to inform them about the new value, and on 31st August 2020, the PPA gave approval for the $121 million. Mr. Speaker, after the evaluation, the ETC gave approval for Bank of Ghana to go to CTRC to seek a concurrent approval, and that was also granted. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, the occupation issue have been answered already. The repeated increase in the contract sum. After the signing of contract with BOG Properties, now the Bank of Ghana have to come in and sit with the contractor to look at the total proposal as submitted. And many of the issues that were considered was the fact that there are security issues of the total contract that couldn't be given to public. So these ones had to be discussed at the point of the contract. Also, the original plan was supposed to be 25 floors. Unfortunately, the spatial requirements require that it cannot be 25, but reduced to 20-floor facility. We also have to look at all the statutory approval requirements and also the functionality of the building in order to address all the requirements of Bank of Ghana. This finally resulted in, Mr. Speaker, a 4-structure facility made up of the tower block, 20 floors, urban block, 8 floors, amenity block, 6 floors, and the podium that houses 5 car park floors under the building, because it was noted that that area lacked car park, and then we will have to factor that into the building. And a modern energy farm system was also introduced into the facility in order to address power needs, since such a building will require continuous power supply without any issue of light off. A treatment plant for water was also introduced, and all these things were done in order to make the building EDGE certified. And Mr. Speaker, I can assure you that the project is EDGE certified, and an EDGE team will also do a review very soon. Mr. Speaker, value for money, we relied on the various approvals to confirm the value for the contract. Currently, it has been decided that an independent consultancy firm will be employed to review the project cost to see, and Mr. Governor made mention of that. Mr. Speaker, no drawings was done because it was a turnkey project. So we did not do quantity cost or quantity analysis before the project. Selection of consultant. Mr. Speaker, we used a single source method of selection, and that one to approval was sought. In fact, this was done when we have to go through the professional institutions in Ghana that can supervise such projects. After going through all the professional consultancy firms that can do that, we identified Multicard, a Ghanaian consultancy firm, as a suitable consultancy firm that can manage the project for us as the employee rep of the project. Mr. Chair, currently what I know about Crown Agent is that it's defunct. However, as indicated earlier, Mr. Governor has decided that we can use a local company to do that job. So I'm sure when the board comes, these issues will be discussed and the appropriate action taken on that. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.